versus Michigan State University. I'm Clay Dockery with
Soleil Heaney, and we are here on pitch one. You can see it's a little windy here. We've got the ARs holding the dodgeballs in place to start.
And Brooms Up has begun. There is a nice drive right off the bat for Michigan State. There was a beat attempt, and it is no good. That ball was delivered straight through the hoops by number one, Aiden Khalid. That is a goal straight off the bat for Michigan State.
Good sign for Michigan State. And I'm also seeing some really aggressive beating from Michigan State already. Really trying hard to get that dodgeball back because they got the quad ball to start the game off.
All right, we have green teams on both sides, so we will try our best to keep an eye on what's happening and let you know what's happening, but as you can tell, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
So Baylor made a pass, but didn't manage to connect. So Michigan State carrying the quad ball up. Number 21 is carrying and passes off, but it's back to number 21. That's Brady Sowers.
Sowers may have saved it. It was right on the line. Gets it in, back behind the hoops. It's Ronnie Interlakia who gets it back over to the outside. The shot goes off. It's a little too high, and it goes out of bounds. Baylor ball. Good stop on that second drive by Baylor.
Yeah, Michigan State making that beat and hoping that they can score off of that dodgeball exchange, but not quite making it. So now Baylor's got the quad ball, and it looks like they also have dodgeball control. So we'll see if they're able to do something here.
Baylor in the green with yellow stripes coming right to left across your screen. This is the quadball player here in the center, number 7, D. Hall for Baylor. Looks right to David Ramirez. There you go.
We've got Baylor playing a pretty slow offense here. Oh, I spoke too soon. They're driving and looking to score, but they don't quite make it.
Nice stop there by MSU, just playing solid hoop zone, and there was no getting it through with that little bit, not enough on that pass or shot.
And so
exchange in the center in the beater game, passing to Brady Sowers.
But looks like Baylor is able to throw that dodgeball back and maintain control. So Michigan looks to drive in, but Baylor manages to stop them with a dodgeball.
There is a scrum by the hoops after that stop, and then Baylor comes away with it. D. Hall with the quad ball after all of that, and now looks to make a move. Speed is on, makes a move, and is stopped, but gets the ball out to the far side of the field.
Drives and dishes, and now this player's driving in. Looks like it's no goal to start, and then goal was good. Did you see who scored that one?
I am trying to catch the number. Looks like it is Marquise Miller, number 9, with the goal. And that will make it 10-10 now. That was a nice cohesive effort there and nice cleanup by Miller. Oh, and that is a steal by Miller. Miller taking control right here.
What a great steal by Miller. That is a hard defensive play to make. And we see Baylor really looking to push with those dodgeballs, but they're not quite able to score through that hoop. And now we've got Michigan State driving, fast break scenario, and they get the ball off before Baylor is able to make that beat, which is shocking with a one-beater D. You don't necessarily want to drive in like that, but I guess if you can distract the beaters, then they're not going to throw that dodgeball. It's great then.
And that is the second goal by Aiden Khalid.
And so we've got Baylor carrying the ball up. That's D. Hall once again. He's been their primary ball carrier. And we're seeing Baylor playing a 2-2 defense here, and they've been pretty good at blocking the hoops with that. So
another move from it's D. Hall back around again to Miller, back to Hall. That's contact is high. That's probably what that ref call is going to be for after it. Yep, that stoppage. MSU gets the ball, but that's going to be back in the hands of the Baylor player because the card is going to come out, I believe.
Yeah, my guess is that's going to be a yellow card for neck contact here. We have our HR Tyler Walker coming over. So it was exactly that, a yellow card for neck contact. That was to number 1, who has been a primary scorer, so it sucks to lose him in the game.
Yep.
Even for that brief amount of time, but.
All right. So this is going to be a key part of the game for this Michigan State team because, yes, so far the game has run through Kalis, and right now Kalis is in front of us, which is not the place that you want to be.
Yeah, so we'll see if Baylor is able to score off this. We've got D. Hall who gets that ball back, and it looks like they're waiting to get started, make sure all the players get back to their brooms.
What would you like to see Baylor do on this possession right now?
I think they're going to need to hit high. It doesn't look like Baylor's been passing a ton, so they're going to need to make stops really high up. Yeah, and that's
nice
exactly
strip.
what they do. They make a stop high up, and they're able to get a quad ball turnover.
Called it right there. Excellent work, Salil. And now, fast break going the other way, but beat right into the hands of that beater. Nice beat by Caleb Williams, the coach of the Baylor team.
Like I said, you don't want to drive into that one dodgeball scenario. You want to drive into a no dodgeball scenario for those fast breaks, and that's the second time. This time it didn't quite work out. We've got D. Hall carrying, and because Baylor wasn't able to score, we still have Aiden in the box.
30 more seconds.
For another 30 seconds or until Baylor scores.
Miller here on the near side. Takes a look, throws it across a little too high for the intended target, who is Cheyenne Farmer. And they head back to the other side because it looks like that went out of bounds on the far side of Michigan State's ball.
It's going to be a quad ball turnover, and they're coming in.
And Michigan State does kill the penalty. Kalis is back in. They do take the quad ball a little further than I thought before they got all the way back to full strength. They're moving too fast for me. I would like to see them take another couple seconds before they drive into the defense.
Yeah, exactly. But we did see a really nice juke from number 21, Brady Sowers. And it went out of bounds from Baylor, so it's a turnover back to Brady behind the hoops, inbounding, and then passes it off.
And it's back in the hands of Kalis, but stripped by Hall.
Great strip by Hall there. That's some really good defense that we're seeing from Baylor, and I think that's why the score is still so close, is these teams are good defensively. And it's going to take a lot to be able to score on them.
Looks like, Baylor brought in some big folk. But let's see if a different strategy is in place here. We've got Delia Brzezinski heading behind the hoops. We've got on the near side here, Cyrus Sellers. And number 5 had the quad ball. That would be Reed Holt. So it's basically an entirely new line of quad ball players in, along with Caleb Williams, and I have to find the other dodgeball player.
Number 17, Jack's Friends. That was an amazing drive and dish. Didn't quite make the goal, but I really love to see the ball carrying, especially from female players in that college division. That's something that you don't always see very often, and that was awesome. We've got a point keeper scenario in this 2-2. So my guess is that she can also make some big hits, otherwise they wouldn't have her up there.
Sowers goes out to the outside, gets it back into the hands of who else but Aiden Kalis, and that is the third goal for Kalis, this time off of the Sowers assist for 30-10 lead.
Yeah, and we've got Jax Franz carrying the ball up as the keeper for Baylor. Walking pretty slowly, trying to wait for their beaters to get in front of them, I think. But their beaters kind of just walking. Now they're in front of them.
Do love to see Jax Franz doing distribution here, running this offense, getting her players into place.
Yeah, she looks ready to throw the ball and makes a pass across the top. And we've got another player driving in and passing.
It's in towards the hoops, taken down by a nice tackle by Kalis, and now it's a big pile up right underneath the hoops over there, and probably looks to be being cleared up by the Michigan State beaters, but it's hard to see exactly what's happened. Yeah, the countdown has led it to being a quad ball headed back the other direction. Brady Sowers was going to take off, but then decided to think better of it. Instead, it gets into the hands of number 9, Jackson Massey, and he puts it into the hoop.
Yeah, beautiful goal there.
And that will make it 40-10.
So I think what I'm seeing from Baylor is that they need a little bit more coordination with their beaters and their chasers. The beaters are kind of just off doing their own thing, a little bit slow, while the chasers are looking to make those drives, and it's not working because Michigan State is a very physical team. They're making those hits, they're stopping those goals without even really needing to throw their dodgeballs.
Franz is here on the near side, again looking for a cutting player. Good cut behind the hoops. That was a stop of the pass by Sowers, but Jax is able to hold on to the quad ball and gets it away, and it gets into the hands of a player here in front of the hoops, but it's a lot of contact behind.
And unfortunately, this pitch is running a little bit behind, and I actually have to go to my next game. So I'm going to leave you here with Clay, but thank you for tuning in. Sorry I couldn't stay the whole game.
I am also sorry you can't stay the whole game, but thank you so much for everything that you do. All right, we have a stoppage here. As we were saying goodbye to Salil, it was hard to know exactly what happened, but it does seem as though Michigan State has come away with the quad ball. And so, as we are listening in on the referee conversation to see exactly where things are happening, we will get the call from Tyler Walker to see whether there is any card upcoming for that contact over behind or here on the near side of the Michigan State hoops. Conversation between the refs continues. Baylor coaches out on the field just trying to get clarification of everything that's going on. Currently, there is one dodgeball in possession of Baylor here near the middle of the field, and the other dodgeballs are out and about. There is one dodgeball underneath the arm of Michigan State player by the hoops. And a third dodgeball over by the Baylor hoops on the ground. And we have resumed play with no fouls upcoming, but instead we do have Michigan State with another opportunity here. We do have Brady Sowers as the Michigan State player with the quad ball, looking for an opportunity here. Has a screen in front with the unarmed beater number 18, Gwen Prott. They clear things out, and the ball goes up in the air and through the hoop from Brady Sowers for the goal. And that makes it 50-10, Michigan State starting to pull ahead. There's an exchange with the dodgeballs in the middle of the field, but that does open up an opportunity for Jax on the far side. Jax Bronze over and gets back. It's a lot of nice passes, a little touch and go by the hoops from Baylor, and it is knocked in. That's an assist from Prott, assist from Franz, and knocked in by number 5. And that will make it 50-20. The goal for Michigan State is no good, and it is turned back over to Baylor. That goal was from Reed Holt, number 5, off the assist from Jax Franz. On the Baylor side previously. Franz continuing to direct the offense here. Has Tiachuino coming up on the near side. And behind the hoops, trying to sneak in David Ramirez. And over on the very far side, this one comes to Ramirez here. Ramirez makes a move, gets it back into the center, into the arms of Jay. Jay takes a shot over the hoops, gets back into the hands of the trailing chaser. Back into the hands of Franz, who gets the shot off, but may have had a foul in the dodgeball game observed by the ARs here on the near side. There are some beaters who are fighting over a ball back in the far corner of the field and the left side of the screen. Franz's shot was knocked down, so that was not a good goal at this moment, but it is possible that depending upon who this foul will be on, the quad ball may get back into her hands right in front of the MSU hoops. Remains 50-20 here. And it will be a yellow card on...
Back contact, 1 minute or until a goal is scored by Baylor. Good.
It will be a yellow card on the beater number 42 from Michigan State. That's Luce Marklin. And they will spend 1 minute in the box or until Baylor scores, which does mean that the quad ball will go back into the hands of Jax Franz right in front of the Baylor hoops where she had the quad ball previously. There are a lot of players there, and it is off the side out of the pass. The Baylor players are beat out in the backside behind the hoops, and MSU is able to stop the drive. And so MSU now hoping to get something together on offense and also kill off the penalty on Luce. Zoo number 11 here in chaser for MSU at this time, along with Jackson Massey, number 9. The pass goes off into the side and out of bounds and is now back in the hands of Jax Franz and Baylor. Looks like Jax is finally going to sub out after a really nice shift on the field. Only one goal that held MSU down. Nice work from Jax Franz there. And D. Hall is back on the field at keeper. And Luce Marklin is back on. They head back to their hoops. And pass goes to this side to David Ramirez. Gets it back behind. The shot is off and good from Jay Tiatico. And that will make it 50-30 now. MSU still in the lead, but it is getting closer now, 50-30. MSU headed back the other direction. Brian Fleahy now in, passes back into the far side, goes across the field, and now back into the corner, into the hands of Ronnie Enterlicia. And that is through the hoop, and a good goal for MSU. Oh, D. Hall picks it up. It is called good. There's not a set defense for MSU. D. Hall makes a stutter step and is taken down very hard by Jackson Massey. It does get across into the corner. There is a stoppage.
Are they calling it?
I believe that was Reed Holt if it's good, but we'll have to see. It is currently 60-30 with the MSU team in the lead. All right, so that goal is good, and so that will make it 60-40.
Who scored?
Number 7. Or no, that was not number 7. Someone else scored. 15, number 15.
Oh, so that would be a good goal by David Ramirez from Baylor. That will make it 60-40. It's 60. It's Baylor scored. Yeah. And now MSU is headed back the other direction. Here on the near side, Nicholas Chiara passes up into the air. It's knocked away. Jackson Massey is able to take it. Marked immediately, but gets away. Is met again and now double teamed in the back corner and stripped. Ramirez gets the ball into the hands of D. Hall, and now D. Hall is looking to make a move. Hall dances around Massey and has it knocked away. A little poke in, and now knocked back into the hands of Sierra, who is taken down on the who gets it out, but is taken down on the far side of the pitch, and then gets it into the hands of Massey again, who gets the the shot off, and it goes through, but we have to see who the foul is on. So that quad ball did go through that hoop out of the hands of Jackson Massey. I thought it did. Maybe it's being called no good. No, it's not. It is definitely being called. They're sending him back. So it looks like it's going to be called a good goal from Jackson Massey to make it 70-40.
Yellow card number 10 for Baylor. Not contact, time to give by the goal. Good.
Yep. So it's 70-40. MSU with the lead. Goal is good. The yellow card is on number 10, and the time in the penalty box is negated by the good goal. We will be restarting momentarily as soon as the referees are able to confirm all the information is correct, all the balls are in their proper places, and all the players haven't moved around or something silly. Tyler Walker's ready for us to get going again, and so is D. Hall. D. Hall has 2 dodgeballs in front and does send all of the quad ball players out into formation. Marquise Miller's here on the near side, and D. Hall tries to go through, gets a nice pass off on the underside. There's a bounce into the center, and it's bounced into the arms of the MSU player. It's rolling around on the ground, and MSU is able to come away with it. After all of that, Nicholas Sierra has the quad ball and now gets it back to Brady Sowers. Sowers with a very long pass all the way into the corner to Ronnie Interlicia. Throws it back, but it goes out of bounds and will be Baylor's ball on the far side of the field. Back to D. Hall. Looking to penetrate the already set MSU defense. Throws behind, and Baylor does a nice job passing all the way around the hoops, but it bounces off the hands of the chaser in the center, and Sowers takes it the other direction. Sowers waits for help, passes to the near side, but it's picked out of the air by Marquise Miller. Gets it into the hands of Hall, and it's back the other direction. MSU set, collapsed near the hoops. Everyone, there's a nice nice beat of the attempted outlet pass behind the hoops there. Cleans everything up by MSU. Very nice team defense there. There was absolutely nowhere for Baylor to go with the ball. The entire MSU team really showing good coordination there, particularly number 18, Gwen Prott. They caused the turnover to get the ball back in their hands, but unfortunately they lose it on the offensive drive almost immediately around the hoops, and it's back in Baylor's hands going the other direction. Marquise Miller now with the quad ball with a dodgeball in front. Tries to make a coordinated effort here. Has Jax Franz in front, but it's a bounce off of the Baylor player into the arms of 2 MSU players, and another good defensive team stop by the MSU players, who have a well-coordinated defense here that is keeping the Baylor athleticism at bay. It is 70-40 still. And there's a nice exchange in the center, opening up space for Sowers. Sowers drives through, and Sowers puts it in the short hoop. Gwen Prott opens up space for Brady Sowers, leading directly to the slam dunk goal, and that causes a timeout by Baylor. as MSU has put themselves into an 80-40 lead. Here in the timeout, the Baylor team has to decide how they're going to stem the bleeding a little bit. They've been playing really, really well throughout the game, but they just have not been able to figure out how to get through the MSU defense. So they need to coordinate their efforts a bit better is what I believe here. Establish some form of communication between the quadball and dodgeball game. Understand that there may be some sacrifices that need to be made, some strategic moves of sending players that you would otherwise not expect, such as maybe letting D Hall take the brunt of some attacks while a trailing player is able to clean up the mess or something of that nature. Is what I would like to do. As I have many times in my quadball career been in a situation where I've been falling behind and needed to come back. So I'm hoping that Baylor is able to do it. Baylor clearly with the ability to do so in this game. Caleb Williams with a lot of strategic plans, a lot of ability to bring the entire team back together, and of course, it's only 80-40. It's 4 goals down. It's not like this thing is remotely out of hand. Meanwhile, Michigan State, with a relatively small group of players, as you can see over on the left side of your screen, not a lot of players here, but a lot of really, really well-coordinated players who are out here working together as a team, know their strategy and know what it is they want to do, and so far in this game have been effective. So, we're about to resume.
17 minutes. 17.
We're 17 minutes into the game, which means we're 3 minutes away from the end of the secret floor and the beginning of that most important flag runner on pitch time of the game. But right now, it's all about getting back strategic advantage for Baylor while also putting another couple goals on the board. And it is Jax Franz coordinating the things in the center of the field, and a nice tackle. Oh, but it is cleaned up exactly. There's another stoppage in play. We have to see whether this has happened, but there Jax Franz gets the pass off, is able to clean up after the tackle, and did get the goal through, but we have to see whether or not that's going to count. All right. All right, so the player was beat before, but that does mean that the goal is no good, but it does mean that the Baylor player is able to retain possession behind the hoops, and does so. There's a lot of pressure put on that player, who's able to get it back up top to Reed Holt. Reed Holt goes around a couple people. A pass shot over the top is cleaned up by Franz. Franz, with one player in front, is met by a point defender and taken down with a aggressive tackle. And Franz is, there is another stoppage in play. Franz was beat while the players were on the ground, but there was a lot of motion while players were down over there. I think they just wanted to. I think that Tyler just wanted to get everybody back on their feet. And now it's MSU ball going back the other way. This is Gwen Pratt and Aiden Collies back in. Gets the quad ball over to Jackson Massey. Passes back into the back corner.
18.
And, the shot over the top of the hoops goes a little far, and there's a lot of contact in the center, but it's all incidental. And eventually, the quad ball does wind up back in the hands of Jackson Massey. And there's another stoppage of play. So, once again, we're here to determine exactly what happened there, whether that contact was incidental, whether people were playing after being beat, whether someone came off the broom. I think all three of those things were in play. Just depends on who did it and when. In the meantime, the players get a couple seconds just to take a moment and collect themselves, make sure that they keep their wits about them. And it looks as though it's going to be a turnover, so no card, but a turnover. Oh, no, it will be a card, unfortunately, on MSU, a yellow card.
Yellow card, state number 11, dangerous dive. 1 minute until a goal is scored. Cool, thank you. What's game time, by the way?
18-21.
It is yellow card on number 11, Aaron Zhu from MSU, in the box for 1 minute or until Baylor scores. So now Baylor with the quad ball. They're in the center where all of the action is still happening, and they just reset. Very smart play, resetting behind a wall of players, including two-armed beaters, is a good choice in that situation. Marquise Miller's looking for open space here. Pass from Franz goes to the far side of the field. It bounces off of a player's hands and looks like it's going to be going back the other direction. Yes, it goes out of bounds on the other side and now is going to be MSQ ball. 19 minutes now, so there's only 1 minute left before we have our break, before flag runner on pitch. MSU holding on, probably wanting to kill this penalty as much as possible, and also possibly, if they can, hold on for last possession. It's going to be a long last possession if that's the case, but they certainly would want to do so if possible. Attempted pass from Sowers there gets knocked down by the Baylor defense and is collected, and there is once again a stoppage. That was not.
Sorry, that wasn't.
We'll let you know.
I thought it was a countdown after.
So there was just a little bit of miscommunication there. Referees thought that the countdown that was releasing the player from the penalty box was the 20-minute mark countdown, so we're going to get restarted here, and then we'll have a countdown again in a few seconds for the actual 20-minute mark countdown. All right, we're resumed, and Baylor will probably be wanting to hold on to this quad ball for last possession here. Jax Franz.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last possession.
Jax Franz behind the beaters, gets the quad ball off on this side to Ramirez. Ramirez looks to make a move around the point defender. Instead passes back into the center. Franz goes off to the other side of the field, gets it back into David Ramirez. Ramirez goes past two and this time gets the quad ball into the hoop. So that is a goal by David Ramirez here at the end of the period. That makes it 80-50 at the 20-minute mark. We are at 20 minutes, which means we will stop and take a 2-minute break. During that time, we are setting the set score for the game, which will be 140. Set score of 140 will mean that the team that reaches 140 first will win this game. The flag runner will be coming out onto the pitch, and the flag on the back of the flag runner's shorts will be worth 35 points. So please stay tuned to be ready, because we have some exciting things happening. And one of the things that we have that's super exciting that we have happening is during this break, we would like to introduce you to a very special person to us here at USQ. So we are here in Round Rock, Texas, and we are watching two of very special teams here in USQ. Baylor and MSU are both teams that have been with us for a very long time, and one of our volunteers is connected to the MSU program, and I would like to introduce her now. Let her introduce herself to you.
Oh, my name is Phyllis Ronke. I have a son who used to play for MSU, so that is how I started volunteering for the Quadball Nationals.
And so Phyllis is with us for how many years is this now?
Oh, close to 10, probably 9 years.
This is Phyllis's 9th year volunteering with US Quadball, and we just wanted to give Phyllis all of our love and appreciation for all of the work that you have put in, and to Phyllis for your years of determination, your years of being here with us, all of this support that you've given. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for giving, and thank you for being a part of this community.
Well, thank you. It's a very fun thing to volunteer at, so I've really enjoyed it. And I will continue volunteering.
Thank you, Phyllis. I hope to see you for many, many years to come.
Okay.
All right. I hope that you enjoyed a couple minutes with Phyllis, and we will take a quick break and then be back with the resumption of this game here with Michigan State University versus Baylor. All right, so everyone has returned to the pitch. I have not yet laid my eyes upon the flag runner. There they are on the far side of the pitch there. I can't see who it is yet, but I do see that they are over there. We will see momentarily who our seekers shall be. They will line up right in front of us, and I will let you know. The seekers will be here on the near side of the pitch, and we'll have a 10-second countdown and then take off towards the flag runner on the other side. The flag runner, again, a neutral official with a fourth ball on the back of their shorts, which will cause a 35-point score once they. Can you count them down? You got to count them down.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seekers release.
It's recording, right? Yeah.
All right, so here in the center of the field, Sowers gets the shot off. It's knocked down by hitting the arms of one of the Baylor players and dives after it on the rebound, and it's another stoppage of play. I think Sowers might be being called for that dive. It is this time just a turnover like I thought it was going to be last time, or a back to hoops and turnover. And it's now back in the hands of Jax Franz, who subs out after passing the ball into the hands of David Ramirez. Passes into the far side. Marquise Miller gets it over top into Delia Brzezinski's hands. Delia gets it into the center, but it's cleaned up by MSU. MSU the other way. Aiden Calise is stopped in the center. D. Hall winds up with the quad ball. And there's yet another stoppage in play, but this one may be because of a potential catch. Unfortunately, unable to watch both things at the same time. I'm no Craig Garrison out here with 8 sets of eyes. But I'll let you know what happens as soon as I hear. Because I do have 8 sets of ears. All right, so the catch is a quick, good catch there.
Let's go!
By Baylor. which will bring this game much closer. In fact, extremely close, as that is 35 points. Did you put it on this? As that makes it 85-80, now with Baylor in the lead. It is quite literally anyone's game.
What's the set score?
The set score is 140. Both teams now 6 goals away. And everyone back in the quad ball game. D Hall looks for an opening, looks for an outlet pass. MSU sets their defense. It's been stout all game. Ramirez backs away, gets that pass off to the far side of the field, and that snipe beat comes in, leads to a break the other direction. The beat is missed. Nice by Sowers. Sowers gets around, but Ramirez is able to slow Sowers down enough that Sowers is able to be beat and stopped, and the turnover happens. D Hall gets it here to the near side into the hands of Ryan Kaiser. Ryan Kaiser has the quad ball knocked down. There's a back to hoops, and there's a stoppage. There was a back to hoops that was miscommunicated, I think, due to both teams being very similar. The back to hoops was for net contact on 23 from Green Baylor. Brady Sowers with the quad ball. Baylor with 2 dodgeballs and their defense and everything set. It's been a long time since anything has really gone MSU's way here. Jackson Massey on the far side passes back to Sowers. Sowers directs the offense, tries to incorporate the beaters into the game, and instead is knocked down by a nice beat, and D Hall picks it up. There's a nice tackle on the far side in the dodgeball game, and D Hall gets by. It's tripped up by the feet. The trip up on the feet of D Hall should put the ball back in his hands. Yep, that's going to be a card on Jackson Massey. Okay, so it is from behind on that contact on D Hall for Jackson Massey. D Hall now with just one of the MSU players in front, but is turned the wrong direction. So may take a second to get oriented. Let's see. It took a second, maybe a millisecond, but is able to get it off, and that is another goal for Baylor, which now puts Baylor up 95-80. Kalis running things for the MSU offense, headed up the field, has Enterlikia going behind. The beat attempt knocks the dodgeball out of the hands, but Sowers is able to collect it himself. Is met immediately by D Hall, but does have assist from Luce Marklin, and is able to keep a hold of things for a second, but not long enough, as D Hall eventually comes from the ground with the quad ball. Gets it into the hands of David Ramirez. David Ramirez is beat with a great beat there by Luce Marklin. They were all over that. Kalis passes into the center. Enterlikia back to Kalis. Kalis goes directly into Hall and over the hoops. It's a little high, but Enterlikia is unable to collect it. All right. Everyone is regrouping. The MSU team is all getting themselves set here on this side, whereas Baylor is slowly moving things from their side. Took quite a while to get that quad ball from the backside behind the Baylor hoops, but D. Hall and company are finally making it. Here on the near side, number 27, Heather Helwig in the game now for Baylor.
Not behind. Do not throw the ball behind.
D. Hall tosses behind to Ramirez. The beat is missed, and that leads to an opening and a score. That was David Ramirez, number 15, with the goal that makes it 105-80. 105-80, 140 our set score. MSU really needing to put at least one on the board right here to stem the bleeding, because since that catch, it has been the complete opposite game from MSU team, unfortunately. And a really, really nice game from Baylor. That's a missed beat by Baylor. This is an opportunity. Sowers, another great dodge, and that is good. Sowers with a lot of really, really nice moves there. Gets the goal home to make it 105-90. D. Hall waits for reinforcements.
Work the ball.
Trailing beater now. A lot of contact. Gets it to the back. That beat was first. But, Helwig is able to save it. Gets it back into Hall's hands, and another beat comes in, and I think that one may have taken out two of the Baylor players. Again, loose Marklin. That one almost fell through. The long teardrop almost falling through, and now there's going to be a contact call in the dodgeball game. Conversation in the center, finding out exactly what the contact was and exactly when it happened. Again, this little stretch here has been a rough time until that goal from MSU from 80 to 40. It had been all Baylor. It's now 105-90. There is no call on the play. It is all clean contact, just a little incidental or something, and it is Baylor's ball going back the other direction. D. Hall brings up the quad ball. Heather Helwig here on the near side. A lot of contact. Ball rolls on the ground, and Enderlickia is able to collect it. There on the far side. Kalis gets it off, gets it behind. Enderlickia shot too high. Saved here at the top by Sowers. Sowers is beat, but it's saved this time by Nicholas Chiara. There's contact to the head, or at least high, and the goal is good. The goal is good by Chiara, which does bring us back to a tie score. 100-105, effectively tied, since the trailing 5 doesn't really have a meaning in this context. 4 goals away for either team. D. Hall is going out of the game, gets the quad ball into the center of the field. It's Jay Tiatico, and of course, Jax Franz. Back in, number 17, who will be leading the offense, I'm sure. Beat is missed, passes in to Tiatico, and the goal is good. It's assist 17, goal 10, 115-100, Baylor in the lead. And stoppage, timeout, MSU. It's a 1-minute timeout here as we passed the flag runner on pitch portion of the festivities. Timeouts become another part of the game, and here MSU, as we were kind of alluding to momentarily, needs to collect themselves, needs to get back into that collective, understand the fundamental principles that they were playing so well at during the middle portion of this game and get back at them. This Baylor team, a lot of athleticism, a lot of sound fundamentals as well, and so far in the past 7 to 8 minutes have really taken a lot of those things and put them into action against this MSU defense. So MSU, fully capable. They just have to turn things around here. All they have to do is understand their positioning, understand that when they have their players in the right places and they're working together and have each other's backs, they can do exactly what they did 15 minutes ago and bring this game home. Meanwhile, on the Baylor side, this game, they can taste it at this point. They know if they keep doing what they've been doing, they will, simply by exchanging goals, wind up winning. Our 1 minute timeout should be almost ready to end, as Tyler Walker will bring us out of it momentarily. It's been exceptional gameplay from the U.S. Quadball Championships once again. Very excited to be with you all. Thank you all for all of your support and watching us here on the U.S. Quadball YouTube channel, and for your comments and suggestions and all of that stuff. We do enjoy it. I personally enjoy it, even when it's constructive criticism. It's fun times out here, folks. Anyway, here we go. We have Baylor and MSU ready to resume after the MSU timeout here late in this game. Baylor up 115 to 100 with a 140 set score. We weren't quite as ready to resume as I anticipated, but hopefully that will be quite soon. All right, now we're ready to resume. Players are remounting, and we will go on Tyler Walker's whistle. And we are back. MSU. Loose. Trying to bring all their players into this offensive set. Brady Sowers with the quad ball, passes it here to Kalis on the near side. Kalis met immediately by Ramirez, gets around Ramirez and gets it into Interlikia's arms. The pass is again a little bit too high, but it gets back to Sowers at the top of the key. Sowers is beat, but again, so is Ramirez, which clears everything up and allows the quad ball to wind up rolling back into the hands of Jax Franz. Baylor ball. Franz to Ramirez. Ramirez to Franz. A lot of action trying to dislodge Luce Marklin underneath the hoops. MSU trying to set their defense and use sound strategic principles here with Gwen Pratt and Luce Marklin, their best performing beater pair out there during this game. And they are able to snuff out that Baylor attempt. And it's MSU ball going back the other direction. And a goal will tie us up once again.
Michigan State as a team here, as a team. All six of you.
I'm not the only one talking to MSU about being a team. Their coach and longtime quad ball player and personality, David Bonus, doing the same thing, but they are not able to make it happen, and Baylor is able to collect the quad ball right underneath the hoops. Yeah, David Bonus, coach and supporter of this MSU program. Jax Franz. once again, leading this Baylor offense, looking to put them 2 goals up. And there's an exchange in the center, leading to an attempt to clear out this stout MSU dodgeball game. Gets into the hands of Ramirez. Ramirez back to Franz. Ramirez off the top of the center hoop and in. That does make it 125 to 100 off that goal from David Ramirez. Pass into the center. It's knocked down by the... Oh, nope. It's saved. Saved by one of the MSU players, but unfortunately back into the hands of David Ramirez. But David Ramirez with a great beat by Luce Markland. Or Glenn Pratt. It could have been either of them. I'm not sure where it came from, but it was one of the two of them. And there is another stoppage.
100 to 125.
What's the set score? 140.
It's going to be Jackson Massey with the quad ball once we come out of this unfortunate injury stoppage. So we're going to take a moment away while we step away for the injury. And everyone is returning from the injury timeout. Hopefully we'll be able to resume pretty quickly here.
So there are no cards?
Let's go, Baylor!
Yeah, I don't understand how they
I don't know why. I just
All right, so the referees are still having a conversation here in the center, but I believe that we will be resuming very soon. everyone has returned to their positions and remounted. So here we go. We have Jackson Massey with the quad ball here on the left side of the screen, with Luce Marklin right beside, and Gwen Pratt coming up right now. So all of the dodgeballs are now engaging, and there's a lot of contact in the center with Luce Marklin, and the quad ball goes behind the field and winds up in the hands of Jax Franz. MSU with both dodgeballs running side by side with a kind of square setup heading in columns up and down the side over here, trying to hold Baylor to the outside. And a lot of action in the dodgeball game. Once again, the quad ball gets into Marquise Massey and around to the back to Jax Franz. And there is yet another stoppage of play. Unfortunately, Franz is injured of something, needs to be substituted out for some reason. And so that means that Baylor will need to replace Franz on the field and bring in a new player. Looks like the quad ball is going to remain in the hands of Baylor.
That goal is no good. The players beat before. Ball remains at Baylor. You're going to be on this side. It doesn't matter. Let's go! Penalty was...
The yellow card is on number 11, Aaron Zhu of MSU again, and the foul happened here, and does mean that the foul does not mean this, but the goal is disallowed because of being beat before. So Franz was beat before the goal, but Zhu does have a foul and is over here on the penalty box for the second time of the game, which does mean that after this Zhu will have a third yellow card, would mean that Zhu would be ejected. And we have resumed play, and the quad ball is rolling around in the center of the field, does get in the hands of Marquise Miller, who knocks it through. That does get Zhu home in, but it does mean 135